Streaming live on www.facebook.com/DZRJ810am or on YouTube, channel RJAM News. To all Teleradio Bandido viewers and listeners, you can now watch Teleradio Bandido on our new YouTube channel, RJAM News. Hit the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup.
SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Programang tatalakay sa kapangyarihan ng serbisyo sibil. SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Programang hihimay sa kapangyarihan ng pamalang lokal. SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Programang maglalapit sa pamalan at mamamayan. SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Kikilos ang barangay para sa bayan. Edukasyon, kalusugan, trapiko, basura at iba pa. SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. Tatalakay sa mga problemang napapanahon, problemang hahanapan ng solusyon. At ngayon, ang inyong mga lingkod, De Leon Gomez, SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado. This program is supported by the National Kidney and Transplant Institute, the Philippine Red Cross, Parenting Foundation, and the Metro Manila Council.
Magandang hapon mga kaibigan, ito po ang SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado ng ating tita ng barangay, Tita Cora Alma de Leon. Ngayon ay Martes, 2 sa Nobyembre, taong 2021. Si AJ Austria, ang ating technical director, ako nyo lingkod, Johnny Gomez, at syempre pa, ang ating chairperson ng Save the Paranaque River Foundation Incorporated, ang Vice President ng International School of Sustainable Tourism at Governor ng Philippine Red Cross. Bagong lahat, mamamayan muna na, SOS pa. Ang ating tita ng barangay, Tita Cora Alma de Leon. Magandang Martes, Tita.
Yes, magandang Martes. Once again, today we choose to remember, celebrate, and believe on the Civil Service Commission Honor Awardees, whether in 2018, 2019, and 2020. This pandemic made it impossible, if not difficult, to honor them in appropriate ceremonies in Malacanang with the President in attendance. I recall as chairman of the Civil Service Commission in 1995 to 2001. Now 20 years later, the 1995 awarding was officiated by then President Fidel Ramos at the headquarters of the Civil Service Commission, with his wife Ming Ramos doing her usual tree planting ceremony. And with the new president in 1998, we were not able to help the president give the awards, but the executive secretary, Ronnie Zamora, was there. So in SOS, Serbisyo, Ora-Mismo, Sigurado, we continue the opportunity to honor the heroes who are committed to public service as a public trust. Here we are unstoppable, the Red Cross way, and unceasing, the SOS way. At tamang-tama, meron ding pinadalang mensahe the retired Chief Justice Hilarion Davide Jr. And sabi niya, today, Tuesday, the 2nd of November, we join Christendom in celebrating All Souls Day. We open our hearts in loving prayers for our departed ones. Our Savior Jesus Christ gives this assurance, do not let your hearts be troubled. In my Father's house there are many rooms. Otherwise, I would not have told you, I am going to prepare a place for you. I will come again to take you to me, so that where I am, you also may be. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. We love our dear departed ones, while their passing caused us pain and sorrow. yet their love left for us beautiful memories we shall forever cherish. May their souls enjoy eternal peace in God's home and loving presence, and we implore them to pray to Almighty God to bless us with final victory against COVID. Thank you very much, Chief Justice Davide, for always touching our lives here
Mhm.
in our program. At tamang-tama, nandito na yung ating unang bisita, no,
Yes.
sa ating pag-honor ng awards. She is a 2018 CSC Pag-asa Group awardee. Her name is Saily Labastida Palomata, team leader with Adelaida P. Andipa,
Mhm.
Marifesi Pagdilao from the city government of Tagum, Davao del
Yes.
Norte. So Johnny, maybe you should read the citation this time.
Tita Cora, gusto ko muna, napakaganda ng ating mga background ha. Punong-puno ha, puro nature tayo ha.
Inayos ni Dina nung
Di
nakita
ganun ba?
niya. Oo,
Oo.
sabi ko nagkaroon tayo ng equal hindi nabubura yung isa kasi
Oo.
konti yung nakikita tayo.
Oh, ito na yung citation. Alam po ninyo
Yes.
mga kaibigan, very interesting at talagang kapanapanabik. Dahil Tita Cora, pamaya-maya yung iyong barangganic approach, kasama kasi doon sa citation. At
Yes.
ito yung talagang gusto kong bigyan ng atensyon pamaya-maya. Barangganic approach ng ating Tita Cora at yung cultural communities pag-uusapan natin. Pero ito po yung citation mga kaibigan na tinanggap ng grupo ni Ma'am Zaily bilang mga awardees ng 2018 CSC Pag-asa Group Awards, no? For empowering the indigenous and Muslim communities of the city of Tagum through capacity building, livelihood development, and cultural promotion and preservation. The group capacitated traditional leaders that enabled them to actively participate in city and barangay legislation and to gain representation in various committees and councils. Through its efforts, 12 livelihood grants worth 5.88 million pesos were allocated to the indigenous and Muslim cultural communities, which included funding for the establishment of a tribal display center showcasing locally made products. It also expanded the local government's cultural literacy program that revitalized indigenous practices. Ayan, Tita Cora, napakaganda.
Yes. Parang wow na wow interview
Oo.
ito, no? With Saily, no? Simulan na natin, ano? Siguro, Saily, welcome to our program. And pwede bigyan mo muna kami ng konting background tungkol sa City Tribal and Muslim Affairs Office. Kasi hindi kami masyadong familiar. Alam natin, under the city government ito ng Tagum. Malaki ba yung cultural or tribal and Muslim communities sa Tagum?
Magandang hapon po sa lahat
Yes.
na
Magandang
tagapakinig
hapon.
ng SOS Serbisyo Ora-Mismo Sigurado, and maraming salamat for inviting the City Government of Tagum through our office to be a part of this show this afternoon. So actually, the City Tribal and Muslim Affairs Office started as a unit under the City Mayor's Office of the local government unit of Tagum, and in 2017 became institutionalized, no, by making it as a division still under the city mayor's office. And because of the wide aspect of its programs, projects, and activities, actually right now, it has been elevated into a department. So it's the newest department of the city government. It's called the Office of the City Historical and Cultural Center Manager. So pinakabago po, no? So when we started in 2013 as a unit under the city mayor's office, we were mandated, our office was mandated to look into the different programs that we can do for the cultural communities in Tagum. Ma'am CORAZON asked a while ago kung marami ba ang mga indigenous cultural communities and Muslim communities in Tagum City. Actually, yes, madami po. They are more or less around 30,000 in number here in Tagum, and they are of various ethnicities, no? But our original settlers actually here from the IP communities are the Mansaka, Mandaya, and Kagan indigenous cultural communities. So that's why when the present, actually our mayor right now was also the mayor in 2013 when he institutionalized or when he created this unit, nagsimula lang po na unit and then na-expand po ng malaki yung mga programa hanggang binigyan po talaga ng malaki na pondo at pagmamahal ng LGU, yung ating cultural communities. Kaya naging department na siya ngayon, no? Taking into consideration na medyo madami din talaga sila and madami din ng mga concerns, particularly on cultural preservation and promotion.
Yeah. According to the information, sa binigay na citation sa inyo, tinulungan ninyo ang mga indigenous peoples, IPs, and Muslim communities na magkaroon ng boses at naitaguyod ang kanilang karapatan sa inyong lungsod. Sa paanong paraan ito nagawa? I mean, how did this happen? I think it's very interesting because other communities may learn from your experience. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Dito po kasi sa unit na Kinder 8, the Tribal and Muslim Affairs Office, when we started in 2013, one of the programs that we really made sure na kailangan mabigyan ng enough na budget and attention is the capacity development program for our traditional leaders. Of course, meron kasi silang right now, meron kasing dapat na let me rephrase that. Kailangan kasi na bigyan ng attention, assistance and support in terms of trainings and capacity building workshops ang ating mga traditional leaders para makasabay sila sa mainstream na development or progress, no? So like for example, our tribal leaders, we taught them through series of workshops and activities on how they could create or make activity designs, how they could manage programs and activities, no, na para sa kanila. And when we made them into, or we instituted the IPMRs, the Indigenous Peoples Mandatory Representatives in the barangay and in the city levels, we did not just give them the platform to create laws and ordinances na sa kanilang mga area, but we also capacitated them by training them, no, kung paano gumawa ng mga ordinances, paano gumawa ng mga resolutions. We became their link to the various national line agencies and different offices in the LGU para matulungan sila on how they can improve and be able to share their voice sa mga different development programs na ginagawa, not only in the city level but in the barangay level. So we feel kasi na, and supported also by the sharings of our traditional leaders, kailangan na maturuan or makapacitate sila to do that para makasabay sila sa mga programs na ginagawa ng city government. Iba din kasi yung feeling na yung programs, instead na manggaling sa city government, the cultural communities themselves, dapat maging part sila in the planning, in the identification, kung ano yung mga programa and activities na gusto nila na mangyari para sa kanilang particular community. So, kaya very important yung pagbibigay ng halaga sa capacity development program in terms of trainings and workshops na ibigay sa kanila. And regularly, we meet with them. Actually, our traditional mga leaders on the different sectors, we meet with them regularly, monthly, for the updating and reporting of different activities being done in their particular community.
But Johnny, this is really going to be a wow interview, ha? Kasi ang galing-galing ng ating resource person dito, no? Alam niya yung mga pangyayari dito. Pero curious ako kasi naka-establish kayo ng Tribal Display Center.
Yes.
I guess it was like an output showcasing locally made products. Kasi ang experience ko, pwedeng meron kayong tribal center, pero wala naman nagpupunta, hindi naman nabebenta. Parang lugi. I believe that it should be a financially viable dahil pwedeng puntahan ng mga turista, kung ngayon walang tourist, but at least it can be a display center. Kung di man nabibili, display center ng kagalingan ng mga indigenous people sa mga products. Right now, where is this tribal display center located? Kasi may funding kayo eh.
Yes.
Na showcase na ba? Meron na ba ito?
Yes.
Tribal.
Yes. Actually, the establishment and the renovation of the tribal display center is actually funded by the DTI, no,
Okay.
under the BUB program. So it's currently located in the middle of the city. We have a cultural trade center and pavilion that's located in the heart of the city. So one of the stalls there has been transformed into a tribal display center. And actually, right now we are currently preparing kasi just recently, just this year, we opened the Tagum City Historical and Cultural Center. It's the newest landmark here in the city. It has a library, it has a museum, it has a theater, and the offices that's concerned about the cultural programs of the city. So part of the area na inallocate dito sa center is the Pasalubong Center, and we are actually thinking of merging and collaborating the Pasalubong Center that's also located in the heart of the city para mas madami din na makapunta sa ating tribal display center and para mas ma-promote pa yung mga products from our indigenous cultural communities. And what's interesting here in Tagum is hindi lang po yung pagbibigay ng tribal display center, tinulungan at binigyan din po sila ng part po ng livelihood grant, yung pag-develop nila ng mga different products nila. No? So like we have the tribal wine, or we call it biais, merong mga beads making, merong mga traditional dresses making na tinuro, funded po ng LGU under the BUB program of the local government, para may mga products na maibenta doon sa aming tribal display center. And hopefully, when we open the Pasalubong Center here in the Historical and Cultural Center, that's the newest na tourist attraction dito sa Tagum, sana po makapunta kayo, mas may, there will be a space also for their products here.
Wonderful. Kasi yun palaging tinatanong, ano ba mabibili dito? Saan pwedeng pumunta? Maganda yung merong one-stop shop, one-stop area. I noticed, is that a painting in your back? Painting ba yan?
Yes.
It's wonderful. Ang ganda, modern na modern, pero parang
mother and child.
Yes, family po.
Family, ayun.
May anak, husband and wife.
Yes.
Yung maitim, lalaki siguro yung maitim.
I see.
It's a painting made by our local artist.
Joke lang yun, joke. Baka may magalit sa akin, bakit nile-label ko. Anyway, Johnny, I think both of us are interested na paano nakakuha ng grant siguro ang grupo ninyo para sa IPs and Muslim communities. Kasi minsan, kahit gusto nila may mga projects, hindi nakakakuha ng grant.
Yes.
Anong ginawa mo so that you became the instrument to be able to access to the grants?
Yes. Remember when we started in 2013 po, ma'am, yung capacity building, yung mga trainings and workshops, making of activity designs and project proposals. That's what we did with them, sa mga different leaders. And then 2015 came, and that's the year kasi yung kasagsagan ng BUB projects from the national government, nakastated down to the local level. So we had kasi ready na yung aming mga proposals, na-prepare na namin, ready na siya lahat. So we submitted it. Yes, we submitted it to our PESO. It's another department here in the city government of Tagum that's in charge ng mga livelihood programs. No? So nabigyan po talaga ng funding kasi nakita nila na worth it na bigyan because it's a community developed na initiative. And dito kasi sa Tagum, very very welcoming and very welcoming ang aming mga city officials, particularly our city mayor, then until now kasi siya pa rin naman for the past years, sa mga programa para sa IP community. So basically nakatulong na mismo ang aming local chief executive has the heart for the cultural communities. So nabigyan din talaga ng priority in terms of pag-allocate ng funds. And syempre kasi whenever we propose and we defend our proposal, kasama po namin yung aming mga cultural leaders, traditional leaders, no, para mas para mas malakas po yung anong tawag nito, pag-convince, no, on why they deserve to be given the said funding.
Magse-segue lang ako, sandali, no?
Sige lang,
Who
Tita
is
Cora.
Siley Labastida Palumata? Saan ka nang galing? At saka paano ka nagpunta sa ganitong trabaho? Interested ako because you're such a vibrant lady. Akala ko nga attorney ka eh. You're so alive.
I'm a teacher by profession po, ma'am.
Teacher.
Yes. My parents came from Bohol and Cebu, but I was born here in Tagum City, sa Tagumenia po talaga ako. And I joined the local government back in 2011. I used to teach at the Ateneo de Davao Grade School.
Wow, that's why.
Okay. Kaya pala. Oo.
Kaya pala kulay blue.
Pareho kayo, Tita Cora, ha?
Oo nga, nagkataon. Ako naman nagturo din ako sa Ateneo, pero ngayon nasa Board of Trustees ako ng De La Salle, kaya baka mag-green ako sometime. No?
Ayan.
Pero Johnny, maybe
Tita
you
Cora,
have a question?
Oo, curious lang ako, no? Dahil kapag pagka ang discussion is about IPs, tribal communities, parang feeling ko mas maraming challenges, no? Dahil unang-una, yung ginagawa nila, ma'am, na capacity building, paghahanap ng pondo, pagtuturo. Gusto kong maintindihan dahil yung sinabi mo, Tita Cora, kanina na meron silang tribal display center.
Yes.
Yung inyo bang pagtuturo, Ma'am Siley, ay kumbaga dedicated lang doon sa product making o meron ring basic accounting, loss of supply and demand issue, tapos meron tayong profit and loss para kumbaga hands-on talaga sila doon.
Na kumita. Na kumita yung negosyo.
Not only doon sa produkto, kundi doon sa business side mismo. Ma'am Siley.
Yes. That's true, Sir Johnny. In partnership also with our PESO, that's the department that's in charge with the livelihood programs of the city government. May mga trainings po on the accounting side, the financial side, pati po sa marketing and promotion, kasama din po sa training nila, product development, ganyan. So talagang tinulungan po sila step by step. And kahit na nung na-award na po yung grant sa kanila, in partnership with that particular department, meron pong monitoring, submission of financial reports na ginagawa ang city government just to ensure na mabigyan din sila ng assistance sa pagpapatakbo ng mga livelihood na projects na ibinigay po sa kanila. And just recently, na-turn over na po yung mga livelihood project. That means to say, na nakita na po ng city government that they are capable of handling the said livelihood grants, projects, na hindi na kailangan i-monitor every now and then ng LGU kasi na-manage nila properly. So, yun po yung nakakatuwa kasi after ilang years po ng paggabay, pag-assist sa kanila, dumating na po yung time just this year na na-turn over, na-award na po namin talaga sa kanila totally yung mga livelihood projects na po.
So, since you got the award in 2018, that means in the last 5 years, 2013 to 2018, you were already actively engaged in helping them, capacitate them, di ba? Kasi hindi naman madali yan. It's not an overnight sensation eh. Talagang process ito. Ang tiniting ko palagi, the education of the IPs. Kasi I remember in one area, we were able to help the community na train to educate a social worker, no? At nakita ko doon na even they that opportunity to have a social worker in their community na from them, malaking diferensya because they can help one another in terms of social problems na ma-encounter nila. How do you see now the education of these IPs and Muslim communities? Ito ba because we have a lot of emphasis on education. Nakita mo ba yung change din sa education ng mga IPs na ito and Muslim communities? In what way?
Yes po, ma'am. Actually, in terms of education, dito po sa aming city government, meron po tayong mga educational assistance programs no, para sa kanilang communities wherein they'll be able to receive cash assistance para po sa mga nag-aaral, deserving na mga IP and Moro communities. And true enough, every year, nadadagdagan po ang mga IP and Moro professionals in the city na we know na nakatulong din po not only with their families but in the development of their particular communities. But aside from that, meron din po kami tinatawag dito na literacy program on culture. Like for example, for our IP communities, ang naging nakita kasi na problema ng aming mga traditional leaders is that kasi medyo progressive na yung tagum. So na dumating sa point na nakakalimutan na ng mga younger generation ang kanilang kultura at tradisyon. Hindi na masyado nila pinapractice yung kanilang language, for example. Hindi na nila alam yung kanilang mga customs. So in partnership with our traditional leaders, we implemented the Pag-Indo program. It's a cultural education program na para sa mga members ng IP communities because we want them, especially the younger generation, na matuto, na ipagpatuloy yung mga kultura at tradisyon na kailangan na ipagpatuloy, no, na para sa kanilang community. Sa Muslim communities naman, we believe that the madrasa program is an important na part in their growth, no, as a member of the Islamized na mga cultural community. So, may support din po ang City Government of Tagum in terms of the funding para sa ganito na mga programa. And because of that, we were able to hopefully, no, mas as the years go by, mas makita pa namin yung effect or yung effect ng ganun na programa na we have a Tagumenyo IP who is a college graduate, a professional, but at the same time somebody who is in tune with his or her culture and tradition, na hindi kinakahiya, na marunong siya magmansaka, magkinagan, magminandaya. And at the same time, we have a Muslim professional na professional siya, but at the same time, very in touch with the Islamic values and practices. So, ganyan po yung gusto namin na ma-achieve dito sa Tagum City. That's why, aside from assisting them in terms of formal education sa mga secular schools, meron din pong programa para sa literacy, sa culture and tradition.
So, merong integration at saka synergy, masasabi natin dito. Alam mo, sa loob ng 3 taon, because you got the award in 2018, we are now 2021. What happened in the last 3 years na after winning the CSC Pag-asa Award, paano nyo to na ipatuloy, tinaguyod? Dahil, syempre, pwede euphoric kayo in 2018 kasi wow, it was a wow event na na-awardan kayo. Pero hindi pa natuloy na na-receive yung award kasi dapat 2019 kayo nasa Malacanang. Naging beginning na ng pandemic kaya hanggang 2020, no? How did you move itong Pag-asa Award to be felt by the IPs and Muslim? Kasi ang feeling ko pag ganyan, sense of pride ang dapat nangyari sa kanila para wow, na-awardan ng Tagum. And even your city government, I'm sure was very pleased with the award that you got. And I think that's because of your leadership, because may mga kasama ka dito, minention ko naman ang pangalan, di ba? What can you say about that? What happened in the last 3 years? Because 2018 ang award, 2021 na tayo, has it moved to greater heights or wala lang, tayo, relax muna tayo. Ano nangyari sa inyo, Saidi?
Wala po talaga relax kasi when we when we received that citation in 2018, actually 2019, may mga moves na work, part na kami ng technical working group for the development of this historical and cultural center, which we believe is a concrete manifestation in terms of infrastructure on how Tagum City perceives its cultural communities, no, nasa importante talaga sila na parte ng aming syudad, no. So naging technical working group, meron kaming, like what I have mentioned here in the center, meron kaming museum. It's a museum of the Tagumenyo people, and the story that's narrated in that particular museum is the story of our IP and Moro communities, which we hope would be able to be understood and valued and respected by the general Tagumenyo public. And madaming mga ordinances na with the help of our city council na naipasa para ma-expand pa, ma-strengthen pa yung mga programs na ginawa namin, because in 2019 the Indigenous Cultural Communities Welfare Program of Tagum City has been passed and legislated. So mas nadagdagan po yung pondo na binigay sa aming opisina para mas ma-expand pa po yung mga programa, assistance na pwedeng maibigay sa mga IP and Moro communities. And because of the Historical and Cultural Center right now na newest na department ng LGU, yung programs ng IP and Moro communities, na mainstream namin siya to include the general Tagumeño public. Like for example, in the arts development program namin dito, before, yung kanilang culture, yung kanilang tradition sa kanila lang, sila lang ang may alam, no? But because of the Historical and Cultural Center, naibahagi po namin sa mas madaming Tagumeño, mas naintindihan po nila yung kultura at tradisyon, and because naiintindihan nila, mas na-respeto at na-value po nila yon.
You know,
So,
because you're so effective in information giving, no? Public information. I suggest you develop a film at pwede natin padala sa ano ba tawag dito, sa ating YouTube. Pakita nyo the story of the City Tribal and Muslim Affairs Office, because it's such a good story na dapat makita ng mga tao. Even I know you're waiting to be awarded officially in Malacanang, but even before that, nakikita ko na you can proceed to develop a video that can be shown, and you can get the media people in your place to showcase that. Kasi gusto ko yung output ng ating interview nito will be something that more people can watch, more people can see. Dahil it's such a good story na people just mistake na parang they put that aside na sabing parang wala lang. Shouldn't be. There is such a good story to share. Di ba, Johnny?
Totoo, tita. Pati yung appreciation.
Yes, yes. It is time people know what is happening in Tagum. I have been there. In fact, nabisita ko yata dyan, Home for the Aged eh. Pero Home for the Aged dan. Di ba? Oh, yun. Nakarating ako doon when I was DSWD. I really don't remember whether I was DSWD secretary then. Pero I remember visiting that. But to me, it's good, useful to look forward to visiting the Tribal Display Center and the conference site that you have. Magandang balita.
Tita Cora, baka meron silang mga produkto na unique, yung Tagum lang talaga ang meron. Ano po ito, Ma'am Siley?
Yun po, nabanggit from the side of the cultural communities, yung aming pong biais or yung traditional wine na
okay.
At saka madami pong mga delicacies, mga kakanin na from the communities din po mismo.
Galing, galing. Well, I don't know, Johnny. I don't know. I think we will split the time. Handyan na ba yung isang guest natin?
Waiting na, Tita Cora.
Waiting. Si Romel C. Espina. No? What we will do is that we will ask you na to para you can get some work done. No? Anong mensahe mo sa kapwa lingkod bayan bilang isang outstanding government worker na pag-asa hindi ikaw lang mag-isa, no?
Yes, madami group po kami.
What is your message to them?
Okay. Yes, nabanggit po ni Tita Cora na it's a group, so I'm sharing this recognition with the rest of the team from the City Tribal Muslim Affairs Office, and now part of the bigger department, the Historical and Cultural Center, kasi patuloy po talaga yung cultural heritage and arts development programs na ginagawa ng local government unit. Para po sa mga kapareho ko na mga public servants, masasabi ko lang po is it's when I started working in the local government unit, kasi yung mindset nasa academe, no, galing sa Ateneo, ganyan. So we were really trained to be the change that we want to see in the world. So as public servants, we are given a very wonderful opportunity to be able to institutionalize changes that would really help other people, especially those who are in the marginalized sector, no, yung mga medyo napapabayaan ng mga sector in the past previous years. So as public servants, we have the obligation, we have the responsibility to create meaningful changes. And basically po, Tita Cora and Sir Johnny, when you think about it, aside from giving, making their lives more meaningful, more productive, aside from helping them, when you try to look at it, it's actually the greater reward actually in public service is the enrichment and the new meaning that it gives you sa sarili mong buhay. So because of that, you become a better person, you become a more productive na individual in the community. So as public servants, I encourage everyone to continue to work for the change that we want to see in the world.
Alam mo,
Galing.
Siley rather, you are really a woman of substance. Talagang impressed na impressed ako. I'm sure si Johnny also. And we wish we had a longer time. But I'm sure in the future we will meet again. Thank you
Yes,
very
ma'am.
much
Looking
for coming
forward to
on.
that.
More power to you and
Thank you
your
po.
community.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Salamat po ng marami si Zaily Labastida Palomata, ang team leader mga kaibigan. Kasama niya si Ma'am Adelaida Andipa Marife Pagdilaw ng City Tribal and Muslim Affairs Office. Kahit nasa Tagum, Tita Cora, bumabati yung ating mga kababayan mula sa Benguet. Ito ha, Happy Tuesday daw, always watching. Si Ma'am Joyful Barboza mula po yan sa Mountain Province naman sa
Thank
Benguet,
you.
Tita Cora.
Thank you. And I understand many more are watching also. Pero
Yes.
later siguro we will have time to acknowledge yung mga nagla-light sa atin. At saka yung actually hindi masyado nakapagtanong dahil marami pa tayong pinag-uusapan. Moving on tayo kay Romel C. Espina. Can we have his picture? But you
Ayan,
can remain in the picture if you like. Kasama pa rin. Sige. Can we have...
Hinihintay lang natin yung video feed ni Sir Romel. Ayun
Ayan,
na.
he's there.
Ayan.
Wow.
Oo.
Ang ganda naman. Pang-artista yata ito.
Guwaping.
Romel C. Espina, State Auditor 3, Commission on Audit, Regional Office 13, Butuan City. And you know what they received? Is 2018 Dangal ng Bayan Awardee. Kasi ito, magandang award ito because ito yung related sa Commission on Audit.
Yes.
Tamang-tama, taga-Commission on Audit.
Very
Hindi-
timely, ha?
Oo, tsaka hindi basta pipirma lang, dapat napag-aralan kung ano pipirmahan, di
Oo.
ba, Romel? Tama?
Yes po. Yes po.
Anyway, I didn't mean to joke about it, pero I want to read your citation, no? For steadfastly upholding honesty, integrity, competence, and patriotism in the performance of his functions, his strong commitment in pursuing the Commission on Audit's fight against graft and corruption resulted in the suspension of government officials and recovery of public funds amounting to millions of pesos in the island municipalities placed under his watch. Wow! Loaded ito, millions of pesos. Hindi, pag millions of pesos, hindi na natin mabibilang ito, no?
Oo.
You cannot count ito, no? So, simulan natin ng question. Si Johnny, ask your first question.
Parati na.
kay Romel.
Tita Cora, parati natin gustong maintindihan at malaman yung kanyang background, no?
Yes.
Kasi para maging Romel C. Espina at 2018 Dangal ng Bayan Awardee, siguradong meron siyang may guidelines, guidance to the parents at yung kanyang mga naging eskwela, naging teacher siguro. Si Romel, bigyan mo muna kami ng idea, sino ba si Romel C. Espina?
Good afternoon po sa lahat. Sa iyo, sir. Ako po si Romel Espina. I'm the youngest in a family of 6. Yung father ko is a farmer and my mother is a retired public school teacher. I have 3 siblings. 2 of them are working in abroad. And my only brother is working as a nurse in a public hospital near our home. I finished my college in one of the universities in Manila. I graduated Bachelor of Science in Accountancy. I have earned also some units in law, but due to work assignments, change of work assignment, I was able to stop schooling, but I have plans to pursue in the near future. I started with my work in the Commission on Audit way back in February of 2008. So I have 13 years in working with the Commission. I started as a state auditing examiner, and now I'm a having a position of state auditor for, because also of the award which I received in 2008.
Yes.
Ayan.
Oo.
Tita Cora.
Oo. Kasi according to your citation, because of your katapatan, which is a heavy word, no? Sa sinumpaang tungkulin bilang isang lingkod bayan sa Commission Audit, malaki ang iyong naiambag upang malabanan ng korupsyon. Siguro magkwento ka sa amin anong ginawa mo para masabi mong na nilabanan mo ang korupsyon. Of course, I can only refer to Butuan City. That's where you were assigned. You were never assigned in another area? Sa Butuan ka lang talaga?
Yes, in other provinces po, but under lang sa Caraga region.
Oo.
So
Pero
not only in
yung award mo
Butuan,
in relation to your work in Butuan City. Is that correct?
no
Hindi
po.
naman.
In an island which is sakop siya ng Surigao del Norte province. So
Okay.
not in, kasi yung Butuan
Not
is
in the city.
is in the city, not in the city.
Oo. So, kahanga-hanga na you were way out. Malayo siguro yun. Ano yun? Island? Island ba yung pinagtabaho?
Yes po. About 2 to 3 hours boat ride from Surigao City.
Wow. So, hardship area, no? Dahil bago ka makarating, 3
Yes
hours.
po.
Tapos maglaland ka pa, hindi na. Water,
Land po, then from our hometown to Surigao City, land po. Then you will take a boat from Surigao City to Siargao.
Maganda ang Siargao. Tourism area yun eh. Kaya,
Yes.
yun ang alam namin ni Johnny, no? Pero alam mo, as state auditor, talagang very challenging ito, no? Because as a member of the Fiscal Autonomy Group of Agencies, because I was CSC chair, alam natin ang difference ng COA. Kasi pag sinabing na COA-ized ka na, ibig sabihin na review na ng COA yung mga papeles ng isang ahensya and found in keeping with the COA rules and regulations. Pero pag hindi, yung sistema to seek them out, in other words, find out who they are and run after them, nagawa ba ninyo yun? To run after the crooks o for corruption? Meron ka bang mga cases na na-filean during your stint as auditor?
Yes, well, actually, during my 3-year stint in an island, we have at least 2 because yung iba naman, ma'am, parang na-issuehan lang namin ng audit observation memoranda or we issued notices of suspension or notices of disallowance. Depende po if on the
offense?
audit of the auditor that if he needs a particular transaction, if he needs further documents to render more audit, so he will suspend the transaction. But if he is satisfied that the transaction is indeed disallowable, so he will or she will issue a notice of disallowance. For now, I have one pending case in the Office of the Ombudsman ongoing, and the other is investigation conducted by the COA itself.
The assumption is that pag napadala nyo sa ombudsman at pag na-proven na tama kayo, hindi kasi it's a relationship problem na baka sabihin ng ombudsman, mali kayo, no? And then therefore mawawalan sala yung tao. Kasi mas higher level kasi ombudsman pagkaso na yan, di ba? Have you had cases na in-affirm naman ng ombudsman yung mga kasong dinala ninyo?
So far po, wala po, ma'am. So far, yung mga information lang na pinadala namin is from the ombudsman pa. So I think ongoing pa.
Wala pang aksyon ng ombudsman?
Yes po. So kaya sabi ko, ongoing pa po.
Yeah, correct. Pero wag niyo masyadong antayin na ongoing, ha? Follow upin ninyo. Kasi para sa akin, we should not wait until kung kailan till kingdom come. Kailangan makita rin ang resulta kasi results ninyo yun eh. You will be judged also na yung mga kasong dinala nyo sa ombudsman, na-action na ng ombudsman. 'di ba?
Yes po, oo.
Oo,
Pero yung
follow-upin ninyo.
Yes. Pero may exchange na po kasi ng mga communication, ma'am.
Yes,
So I think it is actively ongoing na po yung
yeah,
case. Oo.
that's what I want to hear, because pag hindi nyo napansin yon, nagpalit na ng ombudsman, nalipat ka na, yung kaso na yun, nakakalimutan na. There are many cases na nakakalimutan. In fact, I received information na minsan ang may mga 100 cases na sa interview namin kay Shell, joke
Jokno, yes.
may mga 100 cases na convicted pero hindi na makita. Maybe they went abroad already, nag-enjoy na abroad kasi they got lots of money. They got the money that they are now enjoying. So dapat wag niyong palalampasin. Wag niyong make sure that you can run after them to make sure na they can be meted out the justice. That the justice system works in Tagum, in Butuan.
Yeah.
Okay? Johnny, ikaw, anong tanong mo naman? Kasi
Parang, Tita
heavy ito.
Cora,
Oo.
medyo interesado muna ako dun sa background ni
Yes, go ahead.
Sir Romel. Sino ba yan? Yung nasa likod niya?
Siya yun, picture
yung
niya.
picture sa likod mo, Sir Romel, ikaw ba yan?
Yes. Ilang taong
Ang ganda ng
ka niya?
pagkakagawa.
Ang ganda ng pagkagawa. Pero yung likod, babae sa likod di ba?
Laki
Babae.
po.
Sino yun? Sino yung babae sa likod?
Ako po, ma'am.
Siya. Okay. All right. Tita Cora, ang tanong ko kay Sir Romel dahil state auditor ito and
Yeah.
Definitely kayong mga state auditors, meron kayong mga conferences, meron kayong mga meetings, yung mga best practices. Yung bang iyong experience dyan sa Butuan ay pinag-uusapan nyo rin doon sa inyong mga conferences, Sir Romel?
Yes po, sir. Sa mga trainings po namin, seminars, may mga parts doon na parang in-encourage kami to speak about our experiences na related doon sa topic na training namin or seminar. So parang ina-encourage kami to speak about yung actual talaga kung anong nangyari or how it will be applied in our work, no? Or being used in our work. So parang bang inputs, no? Kung paano ba natin gagamitin itong principle na ito or itong procedure na ito or itong mga guidelines na ito. So para bang para magkaroon man lang ng parang actual talaga na paano niya in-apply or paano niya ginagamit sa within the auditing area or auditing place. So yun po.
All right.
Kasi what we expect are positive changes, no, sa island municipalities na pinanggalingan mo, na in-audit mo, na parang they learned lessons para they will now follow auditing procedures. Kasi minsan it's lack of information, no? Lack of know-how. So in a sense, you are supposed to be teaching them as well. Kasi pag naturo nyo na, dapat susundin na nila, di ba? Kasi otherwise, if they will still do what they want to do, then talagang it's not useful. And I believe you're being honored sa Dangal ng Bayan. It's the highest award kasi it has to do with integrity. So you must multiply yourself. So Romel must be multiplied, not just in Butuan, maybe, but in the other areas that you will be assigned. How long have you been with the Commission on Audit? When did you join? 2008,
ma'am.
2008. So we are now practically 2021. 8 plus 8,
I have
16
13
plus 4.
years.
Oh, 13 years. So masasabi kong ano yung future that you want to see? Do you want to be a commissioner of COA?
Mahirap po. kasi po ako talaga, ma'am, I'm a silent worker. So kung ano man, I even did not dream of having or receiving this award. Even in our commission, we have also this COA praise who evaluated, or who evaluates or
Praise,
choose
Mhm.
among the COA or the COA employees, and never to receive a citation or an award for exemplary performance. Hindi ko naisip talaga kasi para sa akin ang layo-layo or imposibleng magawa ko yon. Pero parang sa akin lang is ginawa ko lang kung ano yung mandato or as a state auditor, kung ano yung dapat gawin. So I never expected that my supervising auditor nominated me to or advised me to submit my requirements, no, to be nominated as one of the Gawad
dangal ng
bravery.
bayan. Dangal
Ito po,
ng bayan.
yung sa ano po muna, yung sa COA po, which
Sarili nyo sa
gave
COA.
me, kasi ako po din yung nanalo ng yung bravery po, yung nakalimutan ko sa Tagalog, which gave me a passport na maging manominate din for the CSC program
Dangal ng
yung
bayan.
po, Dangal ng Bayan.
Galing.
So yun
Alam-
po ang ano po.
Go ahead.
Sige po. So yun po ang ano ko, ma'am, na parang hindi ko po talaga nakikita kung saan po ang maging ako in the future in the Commission on Audit. Tatanggapin ko kung whatever that will be.
Yeah.
Ang ano ko lang is magtatrabaho ako kung ano ang dapat kong gawin or ano ang mandato na dapat kong gawin.
Pero siguro ang iiwan ko sa iyo is a message that you will remember. Dream big dreams. For the dreams of today will be realities of tomorrow. Pag hindi mo pinaginipan, hindi mangyayari. Kaya isipin mo kung ano yung gusto mo mangyari, mangyayari yon. Yun ang, if ever you got anything from this interview, it's my message to you. Because I got that message in 1966 when I was in Washington, D.C. And I remember that. And I decided that I will keep that message in my life and share it with others. Again, dream big dreams. Taas mo yung panaginip mo because yung panaginip na ngayon ay mangyayari. Okay? So sabihin mo, sinabi ni Tita Cora, sinabihan ako na dream big. Managinip ka na you will be someday a commissioner or whatever, basta higher than what you are now. I think that's the best to think about. Okay?
Yeah.
Parang ayaw mo pang isipin eh. Ayaw mo pang isipin. Pero bigyan mo isipin.
Parang na-pressure siya, Tita Cora.
Oo nga eh. Pero tama yung question natin, sitwasyon yung binabantayan ng municipalities. Buhat, after you were honored, what is the situation with the municipalities you are covering or with the assignment that you have? May mga corrupt ba doon? May mga kailangan kakayusin? Kasi systems change ang kailangan eh.
Ano pong nangyari sa mga municipalities?
Kaya nga, the areas where you are now working, do you find that there are areas that you need to look at, that you need to have system change para ma-improve ang auditing, implementation of auditing rules and regulation?
Yes po. May isa akong munisipyo. Ma'am, just want to add information that I am no longer working in the municipalities in that island. I was already reshuffled twice. I'm assigned to another audit team, which also handling some municipalities. But for now, presently I'm auditing a state institution in Surigao City. So back to the questions. That time I have one municipality who have this yung poor talaga yung recording, yung rendering the reports kasi sa amin kasi or sa atin kasi reporting is one way talaga of showing or upholding yung accountability ng isang government official, how good or how proper you run in particular municipality or particular government agency. So yung isa parang need talaga nila yung proper guidance for proper recording and timely reporting. Yung isa naman, may isang munisipyo ako na ano naman siya, parang may puso naman talaga siyang uunlad or maging progressive yung munisipyo niya. Kaya lang there are some procedures or policies na parang ayaw niyang sundin para para
Masunod.
tama. Oo, masunod. Opo. O masunod talaga yung tamang proseso ng isa, for example, a particular transaction, a particular disbursement, or a particular collection na minsan ayaw niya dahil matagal daw or gusto niya ng mabilisan, no? Although he has this pure intention talaga na makatulong din naman sa lugar. So mga ganong kaso lang ang na-encounter ko doon. May minsan din yung mga yung proper implementation of projects na minsan parang gusto din naman niyang ma-implement yung projects, pero yun nga yung sabi niya yung Republic Act 9184 na pang ano daw yung parang maging matagal lang daw yon. So bakit daw ipa-follow pa yung 9184? Pwede namang ganito. Sa amin naman kasi as COA, hindi naman kami gumawa ng batas. We are just helping the government to implement a particular laws, no? So yun ang pinapaliwanag namin na hindi naman kami ang gumawa ng batas, or although there are some talaga issuances or laws that COA promulgates, pero at the end it is our intention to just implement the law, no, or the policy for the common good or for the improvement of a particular place.
Kasi in your case, sabi mo, may puso naman, pero baka walang kaluluwa. Kasi he wants to go the easy way out. Hindi pwede. You have to be really serious in communicating with them that it's not good enough, no? Kasi it is not enough na sa puso nila, but they're not going to do it, no? Kaya challenge to.
Yes.
And I think we don't have that much time. Siguro, Johnny, we can ask him to summarize anong natutunan mo sa interview. Baliktad Kasi kami natuto sa iyo. Pero ikaw, ano natutunan mo sa amin? I-challenge sa iyo ngayon. What did you learn from this interview?
Yun nga, yung first is yung kanina, ma'am, that I have really to be vocal and to be straight or to be clear on what really I had to achieve in the future. Although honestly, ma'am, it is my personality really to gagawa lang kung ano yung tama and kung ano yung reward na maging kahinat na nun for doing what is right, then come what may, no? Yeah. So I'm not, well, kung masabi natin na ambitious yung talagang mag-dream ka ng malaki or talagang mataas, pero hindi ako gano'n na pagkatao. Yung ano ko lang is kung ano yung tama, kung ano yung mandato or anong responsibilidad ko, igagawin ko. Para lang,
pero Romel, you have a responsibility to help influence others. That's the message na lang. Kung ayaw mong umakyat ka sa totem pole na tumaas, pero help influence others to be like you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because I think that's the greater role that you can play.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, when in my last assignment, 3 accountants, hindi naman sa pagmamayabang, 3 accountants, yung nalaman nilang marireshuffle ako, 3 accountants ang lumapit sa akin na parang sinabi nila, sana po yung susunod na auditor yung matitino na may matutunan sila or may mag-guide sa kanila. Kasi as yung COA kasi ngayon, hindi na siya watchdog enabler na po kami. So ibig sabihin, we are guiding kung ano yung you have questions, we are open. Our office is pwede 24 hours, pwede mo kami kung natutulog kami, lalo na pag preparation ng annual audit report, halos hindi kami natutulog. So anytime you can come to my office. If you need clarification, we are more than willing to guide you. So parang ganun ba na parang, sabi ng accountant.
Yung delay in the submission of COA reports, naapektuhan ng mga institution eh. Walang report. Tapos pala, ang findings, ang sama. So, kailangan talaga updated ang reports, di ba?
Ay,
Well, we
yes
don't
po,
have that
ma'am.
much
Oo.
time, Johnny, I think. No?
Wala na tayong oras,
Oo.
Tita Cora. Yes.
Last minute, goodbye mo na lang, Romel. What can you say? Say na your goodbye to those who have tuned in, nakinig sa'yo, and I hope maging lalo kang popular kasi ang gwapo ng retrato mo sa likod. Sige.
Salamat po sa pakikinig sa programang ito, and I hope po may mga natutunan po kayo sa mga experiences po ng mga awardees, and for anyone who was interviewed or is being interviewed, sana po yung mga lessons po ay maging guidance or guiding principles po natin in continuously or continually discharging our mandate or duties and responsibilities for the common good of the people or for the government.
Galing.
Yun lang po
Napakaganda.
siguro.
Talaga naman, Tita Cora, dream big dreams. Ayan. Yan ang
Ito,
ating final thought.
panaginip ko ito na ma-interview natin ang
Totoo
mga
naman.
awardees. Long overdue ito. I wanted this 20 years ago and it's happening now. Ang tagal maghintay eh. Diba? Ang tagal maghintay. But anyway, I'm so happy to meet you.
Okay,
And
final words muna tayo, Tita Cora.
Ha? Final words na tayo?
Yes.
Okay? Ang sa akin, magagawa natin lahat ng bagay kung hindi tayo nag-iisa. And I want Romer to learn that he has to share his knowledge with others. He might not want to rise above what he has now, but I'm guarantee you will rise because you're a good person and keep that and influence your colleagues to be good as well.
Napakasarap pakinggan. Salamat po ng marami. Mga kaibigan ng ating Peter Barangay, ang chairperson po ng Save the Parañaque River Foundation Incorporated, ang Vice President ng International School of Sustainable Tourism at Governor ng Philippine Red Cross. Bagong lahat, mamamayan muna, may SOS pa. Si Tita Cora Alma de Leon. Sa pangalan rin po ni JB Mata ng Civil Service Commission at ni AJ Austria, dating Technical Director. Ako yung lingkod, Johnny Gomez. Magkita-kita tayo muli bukas sa alas 3 po ng hapon kasama ang Health Justice.
Bye-bye!
Samantala. Bye-bye.